up to a label and I want the executives dancing in the videos, all on the records. Take that. Come to Dundee, that record.
This face belongs on the tism.
What's good, man? It's your boy Bigg Rick. We back with another episode of One-on-One with Bigg Rick. We got my main man, the legend, the myth. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting right into it, man. Ain't even no need to talk. We got my boy on the show, man. This guy has done a lot, man. I think they're gonna give him a statue in the city once he's done, man. We got my boy Tory Lowe is in the building. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's happening, Bigg Rick? Hey, you know what time it is? All I know is Milwaukee.
Yeah, how you been, man?
Hey, look, let me tell you, it's a lot going on right now, but we good. You know, once again, you know, it's a lot different situations going on, and tragic situations. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we're all right. And thanks for having me on the show, and salute to all the brothers and sisters on the front lines.
You know, definitely know we just go get around to you and get, you know, I'm happy that you had some time. I know you're on vacay, so I feel a little special because you gave me the interview on your vacation, dog. I appreciate that, man.
Man, it's a vacation from being a broadcaster, but it ain't a vacation from being an advocate. So we was trying to get some stuff done yesterday, but a young girl, Harmony, 14 years old, went missing, and her dad, James, reached out. James Payne reached out, and we was up trying to make sure that she got home. And it ended up happening this morning. We ended up getting her back into her father's custody. And now we're working to see if she can get some of the resources. Many times when young girls run away, a lot of people be like, no, she's just a runaway. But runaway is a gateway to human trafficking. So you got to understand that you got to chase down any lost sheep. And so we got her back.
I know we got right into it. So for the people who might not know you, a lot of people going to know you because, you know, I'm Milwaukee, but I was born in Chicago, but I'm in Cali now. So I got viewers from all cities, different cities. For the people who might not know you, tell the people who you is and what you do, and, you know, let them know a little bit about you.
Well, I'm an advocate. I'm the most requested advocate in the state of Wisconsin. I'm also an award-winning journalist and broadcaster. I've been on the air, on the radio, on the FM dial 101.7 The Truth for the last 5 years. So we were able to take the street movement, put it in the broadcasting space, and then be able to take it from there. And I also do sports, the Packer pregame show at Lambeau Field. And I do a lot of things with the Brewers and the Bucks, and you whatever it got to do with what's going on in the city, I'm probably in the middle of it. So on all sides, from the street level to more of an executive level. So we just working all across the board, but it's a blessing that the streets can be in the game. And I recently got my own day in the city, Tory Lowe Day, July 5th.
We was gonna get to all that, man, but you
I don't know. Sometimes
we still gonna get into it, but that's tight, bro. We still gonna get into that. But yeah, that's pretty dope, man. Like, I remember when I first linked with you, man, like I knew you was real because you when I first linked with you, we was doing feeding the kids.
Yep.
You know, we was giving away bike. My record label was doing this. Shout out Team done did
2100.
And everybody had done did that. Shout out Buddy Carlo, like, and you was coming to all our community events, even the club stuff. And you know, we didn't expect you to be in the club stuff because like you said, you the most requested. Like when you had when you first started, man, it's just like you couldn't be in 100 places at one time, but it's like you was, bro. Everybody was calling you, bro. How did that feel? How was you able to maneuver to get to everybody's problems at one time?
Well, I think that we live in a social media era, and many times when you have access to Facebook, a lot of people don't use it right. A lot of people just out there, you know, looking up, you know, stuff, nonsense. What I started doing to help out with trying to deal with a lot of situations at one time, I would line them up for the social media posts. And while I was gaining traction, I would go in the streets and try to deal with it. Once you brought awareness, people were more apt to try to help. So I would put things out there, and then I would get the help and the resources from the people. So a lot of the movement was people driven. A lot of people want to help. They just don't know what is going on. So when I locked in to let them know what was happening, and they just started coming out of the woodwork. So yeah, I think I took on a lot of situations, but a lot of people who really cared started trying to join in as well. So it helped. It helped tremendously.
Cause man, like you was all over the place. Like you was, and you still is. But like you said, you got a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
But like, it was like, who you gonna remember? Like the Ghostbusters, bro. Who you gonna call the Ghostbusters, bro? It was like, who you gonna call? Tory Lowe, bro. For
You
real,
so crazy.
No, that's how it was back in the days when you was like at your peak. It was like, I'm like, dang, man, every time I see him, he on the news helping out the black community. Every time I see him, he over here trying to figure out what happened. Like, it's remarkable the things that you was able to accomplish, and it happened just so fast. Then you get to seeing other people, you know, they piggybacking on what you doing, but like, it was so many posts like about real and fake, but everybody was like, Tory Lowe is the dude for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how you feel about like how everybody was kind of like, once you got it going, like piggybacking, man? How you feel? We had a conversation about this yesterday about like, no matter what, like if they trying to do the right thing, you applaud it. But how did you feel at the time?
Well, that was the plan. You know, the plan was to make helping people the strongest thing that you can do. You know, the plan was to make advocacy popular, like make it popular, make sure that we get out of that gang, negative drug dealing, you know, all of that extra stuff that was sending a lot of people to jail. And let's get back to being helpful. Let's get back to being a resource for everybody. So my task was to make helping people popular again. That was the goal. Like help enough people to where a lot of people were like, you know what, I can do that. You know what I mean? The community don't belong to one person. You know, we all live in these communities. Our families are in these communities. We educating our children in these communities. So the strongest ideal at the table would win. And I feel like helping is the strongest idea. So I think that when I started helping people, even though people may have tried to mimic it, you can't have it all the ways. You either they out here busting people upside the head, being gangster, robbing folks, or they may try to say, okay, I can do what Tory Lowe doing. Let me see. And a lot of people, whatever way they tried to take it, we all watched, you know, people, you know, because one thing about me, everything I was doing, everybody saw it. It was live, and I never took one penny from nobody I ever assisted, not one penny to this day. So what I'm saying is they were trying to mimic something that was there for them to mimic because I was doing it all for free. And so I knew if I could lay out a blueprint on how to help people, that most people would try to attempt it at a time where when I didn't see nobody actually, not even the preachers trying to help. Like nobody was trying to help the black people. So if somebody thought that they could take what I was doing and try to at least help one person, I thought that was a win.
And that, yeah, because I recall one time, I think somebody got, you was telling me that one of the families was trying to pay you, and you told them no. And I'm like, bro, you got to take that. But then you was like, I don't do it for that. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew you was like solid on you. Like, you don't do it for the money. You know what I'm saying? You do this to help us out. You know, and a lot of people take that for, you know, they take it for granted, man. And it's weird because I remember people was trying to slander you, and I had to check a couple people. Like
that was when it came to politics. That was all politic driven. That slander came when I tried to run for office. So they didn't want us to be helped. They, you know, political don't never help black people. I think sometimes we get people to think that they can do something, and they probably had the right intention, but once they get in there, they see that this ain't even what it is. So when you got somebody that's genuinely helping people, they don't want that in that seat. So with whatever slander you heard, trust me, it stemmed back from political. Because long as we was out of the street,
it was around that time, but you know, like, you know, I'm abroad for you, bro. You know, I put it on the line for you, bro, because you my brother.
I already know.
Don't know that, A lot of people don't know that because we don't interact. I mean, we interact on social media when we can, but you know, me and you, we off social media.
Come on now, we didn't been on the corners on streets.
Yeah.
We didn't fed the homeless. We didn't did all kinds of stuff on the block. Our relationship
You
came
been to my house.
from the work on the block.
Come to my house. You used to come to my house in South Milwaukee, bro.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, man. You bigger than that. You know what I'm saying. So this is a lot of people don't even know. Like you got people with you that's not with you. Like you got the streets too. You got the streets too, and this political shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we commanded you. Like you took it from the streets to try to go do the Ottoman stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it was getting big. You know, it was getting big for you, man. Like, and people don't understand that. Like, they'll probably look at you and be like, you know, he just trying to help. No, bro, you really got them guys behind you. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. I always try to tell people, I've been out here in the streets for 16 years and ain't nobody did nothing to me. And I said a lot of things. I challenged a lot of people to do a lot better for the streets, for the people in the streets. So I'll tell you this. I'm not worried. When I walk around the hood, I don't have no security. I ain't never did none of that. Why? Because I'm good on the block. We good on the block, Rick. You know what I mean? We out here. You know, a lot of times when I see people in the neighborhoods, they trying to tell me what ain't happening so they can make it happen. So when we talk about the streets, many times, a lot of times we see the little bit of the negative, but it's a lot of people out here that won't change. It's a lot of people that want different. And it's our generation turn to help make sure we bring that difference. And that's why we do what we doing.
Yeah, you know, let's get into your early life, man. Like you was born in Milwaukee?
No, I was born and raised. I was born and raised on 5th and North Avenue, 2351 North 5th Street. I went to Lee Street Elementary School. I went to Walker Middle School, and I graduated from North Division High School.
That's dope. So you are, dang, so you right over there your whole life, huh?
Right. Hey, look, let me tell you something. The block was tough. You know, I came up with no mother, no father. You know, I didn't have that type of background, and me and grandma was living on 5th Street, and I didn't know we was in an area like Bronzeville. We didn't call it Bronzeville. It was just 5th Street. But I didn't know we was in a historic area in the city, you know, over there where the Bronzeville area where it was for Black businesses and establishments to grow. So when I was coming up, a lot of the earlier food markets started over there on 5th and North Avenue. Lena's, you know, a lot of the restaurants, old restaurants, a lot of the boxing gyms that went away was over there where the Holocaust Museum is at. There used to be a boxing place called Braggs and Pitts. And, you know, Braggs and Pitts used to teach us how to box and everything. So I was born and raised on, you know, just, you know, in the streets of Milwaukee. So sometimes when people say my name, I just be laughing because we came from nothing. So it's just be funny to me. You can't never say nothing to me that's going to make me react no kind of way unless you do something to innocent life. But I just watch it all. You know, you just kind of get to see like, man, like when you come from nothing, you know, all that noise, you don't really hear all that noise, especially when you're working. I don't know nobody that's working 80 hours a week that got time to pay attention to too much, any noise that ain't got nothing to do with work.
That's facts, man. When you move in her head, you really don't see nothing.
Right.
You don't see nothing.
You don't. I don't see
all
it.
This coming, you know what? Coming like here. Go ahead.
Somebody be like, man, somebody said something about you. I be like, oh, I don't see it. when you doing the work, like I don't know nobody that really working that got time to really even hear anything.
Facts. You know, that's crazy that you said that. There was two artists in Milwaukee going at it yesterday, and then, you know, they both, I ain't mentioning no name, but they both, you know, they both got a little clout. And one was talking about him, and he was talking about her, and she was just like, she tired of people from the city getting up. I'm like, look, you just signed a record deal for such and such. Like, why is you worried about what somebody's saying? Like, you got, you know, you got to just keep going forward. Because, like, one thing that I believe in is if when you feed into some negative, or I think that take the energy and the momentum that you got going forward, I think it takes that away, bro.
Well, a lot of people want to be associated with your energy too. So you got to be careful because one, you know, that's a shortcut. If I say something bad about you and you respond, I call that taking a shortcut. They don't have to do the real work to get where you got to go. All they got to do is have your name mentioned on side of their name. You know, it's a lot of times people, when they start drama, they just trying to share your energy. But you got to have thick skin. You got to have thick skin when you're trying to make it to the top. And everybody aim, I say, if you're in the front, you don't see nobody. If you run in a race and you leading the race, you don't see nobody. Only the person in the back is the one chirping about the one in the front. So if somebody talking about you, that means you in the front of them.
Exactly.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around and get distracted. Keep moving because the finish line is right in front of you.
Fact. A lot of people just be miserable too.
Hey, that's their problem.
And I'm saying they try to misery love company type shit, bro.
But that's their problem. You know, some people always be telling me some weird stuff, and I'll be like, well, that's their problem. Hopefully they figure it out. Because when you own your business, you got to keep your eyes on the prize. And it's the devil's job is to distract you. He can't control you. He can't make you do nothing, but he can distract you and he can tempt you. So if you fall for the temptation and the distraction, then you allowing the negative energy to try to get space in your life and ruin what God actually got planned for you. So what I do is I just keep looking straight and I don't give the negative nothing any attention. I don't even care because at the end of the day, it's not about what somebody say about you. It's what you got to do to fulfill your destiny. And if you're looking straight and you staying on your destiny, you'll make it there. But if you get off the yellow brick road, you know what happened to Dorothy and then when they got off the yellow brick road.
Facts, bro. Facts. That's crazy.
Hey.
So when did you realize that, at what age did you realize, like, I want to start helping the community? Like, because I know at one point, a lot of people don't know this, but I know this about you because you're my brother. You was a rapper too.
Of course. I think everybody in the hood started rapping. I started rapping in elementary school, beating on the garbage can, beating on the table. We started back then rapping. Hey, it ain't like you was a rapper. It's just whoever was nice by the garbage can and by the lunch table.
Oh,
that's how I figured out I was dope. You know what I mean? You get, especially when you're coming up on the block where there's only 5 things that they shoved in your face: entertainment, basketball, football, and things like that. So we all was trying to compete to see who was the nicest. You know what I mean? So I was in middle school. I had my cousin beatbox. I had my own beatbox, and my cousin Lil Rod would go around and he would bust the beat, and we would just be rapping. We would take on anybody because you had the person that could beatbox with you, and you was just trying to test to see what cast was on.
See how that battling is, yeah.
That's what it was. It wasn't nothing we thought about. You know what I mean? It was just the way it was on the block. And the nicest ones, I had a friend named Jay Fresh, and we called him Jay Fresh, but he would always rap the lyrics in the back of the school bus, and he would always have the smoothest flow. And his brother got shot, one day, and we had to deal with that. And his friend shot his brother, but they were supposed to be GD. And I was running with the GD. So after Jay Fresh's brother got killed by his friend, I was like, ain't we supposed to be GD?
Oh, GD shot a GD.
Yeah, so I was like, no, like, I didn't, after that, I didn't want to do nothing with none of that. Like, in my mind, for some reason, I rationalized, like, how are we supposed to be together and this happened? You know what I mean? Over some chick.
Yeah, that'll fuck you up.
I think that it messed me up. So I didn't want nothing to do with none of that after that. I just started becoming like off to the side. I didn't want nothing to do with that because if they was best friends. So when that happened, it was like an eye opener. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was young, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out without all of that. Because ain't no way that this happened. Like, so I was devastated.
So do you got brothers and sisters?
I got six siblings. I got 1 sister and 5 brothers. Yeah.
All by the same mother and father, or different?
Different fathers, same mother.
Different fathers.
Different father, same mother. Yeah. And then I got 6 total with my mom, and 3 or 4 with my dad, because I don't know. I just met some of them a couple years ago, so I don't know how many on my dad's side, but the ones I do know, 6 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay, so you said your grandma raised y'all, huh?
Yeah, my grandma raised me. I was raised on, at my grandma's house, motherless, fatherless child, trying to figure it all out. Grandma and granddaddy would stop through it whenever he could, you know what I mean? Grandpa was a Rolling Stone. He would be between Milwaukee and Mississippi, he spread it, he was a Rolling Stone. So it was what it was. So
your grandma had all y'all?
No, grandma only had me.
Oh, so you was the only one with your grandma?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know how, I hear a bunch of stories how they happen. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was just grandma had me since I was 2.
Wow. So was it any other kids in the house with you?
No, just all my cousins. Everybody would meet up at grandma's house. So grandma had the meet spot, but it was just me and grandma. Yeah, it was basically me and grandma and my Uncle Tom. My Uncle Tom and rest in peace. He died in prison. So eventually he died in prison. Yeah.
Also, you was raised by a single, just your grandma?
Just me and my grandma. Yeah.
Dang, was you spoiled, bro?
Nah, shoot, grandma, we was broke. Let me tell you something. I didn't know food stamps wasn't money. Grandma, until I got into middle school, so she gave me my allowance of food stamps. Yeah, in fact, it was you don't know. You got leaners down the street. Then all of a sudden, I think when I started getting into middle school, when I started realizing okay, something ain't right, because my friends had dollars and I had a book of food stamps. That's when they was giving you the book. That's when they was giving you the book of food stamps. So I just had to go through it.
It's so funny you bring up food stamps, bro, because I don't understand why we were so nervous to fucking spend food stamps back then.
Because people would try to make fun of you, you know what I mean? Some people was doing a little bit better. It was a status. And so that's why I tell people I came up tough. I came up tough. I didn't have all of that. I didn't have grandma made it look like we had a lot, you know what I mean? But really we was poor. We grew up dirt poor, and then we had a slumlord. We didn't have no plumbing or nothing. I didn't take my shower till I got to start playing sports in middle school.
Oh, wow.
So we had to wash up my grandma and them in Mississippi. We had to wash up in buckets and everything.
Damn, you had to do because the slumlord, huh?
Yeah, the plumbing wasn't even working. Yeah,
I remember you got on the slum. You was years.
I'm on their ass. That's what I said. I came from the block. I came from the dirt. So
that's what I was just gonna say, bro. You got on the slumlord's ass.
I sue them now. I understand it. I got a lot of empathy for my people because I came from the dirt. I know when they say the problems with the landlords, with the evictions, with this and that, resources ain't working right. I came from that. And I said, when I get my turn, I'm gonna address it. And so a lot of people got the benefit from that hard life coming up. They get the benefits now because I understand it. A lot of people, why you helping them folks? Why you do that? Why you doing this? That's those I used to see my aunties go through that. I used to see people in my neighborhood go through all of that. We came up where resources wasn't calling back. People wasn't doing the right thing because they thought poor people, they had a certain mentality against people that didn't have it. So when I got my turn, I understood the assignment.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. And it's good to have somebody like you for the community, bro. Because when we was coming up, my mama, it's 4 of us, and my mom was just a single parent, bro. We ain't had them resources, bro. Wasn't nobody doing what you doing for the neighborhoods, and
right.
Wasn't nobody fighting for us, bro. Nobody was fighting for us. So when you got a person like you that's fighting for the community, man, that's why I think you so celebrated in the cities, bro. That's why I think you get them calls, because you was the first one. I'm trying to think, Homer Blow, he was doing his shit for the community, but not on the level of he was just Homer Blow.
I'm in deep with the tragedies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm in the front rooms here. I deal with the front rooms here.
I think you was one of the first ones that I really seen. Michael McGee, I think. I mean, but nobody did it like you, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you was on every news station. They was like you, and you still is, bro. You was just on the news. Man, God, we gotta shoot something up for our boy Tweezy.
You so crazy. you know, Rick, the only thing I tell people, I never sent a press release to the media. I never called it.
Yeah,
I never called it.
No, I was saying
they was following me on social media. See, what happened was I would take stories that nobody was dealing with, and I would make a big deal out of it on social media, and they would call me. They start calling me. Hey, can we get that? Like, can we get that story? And I'm like, yeah, you can get that story, but this is the way you got to tell it, because I used to work for CBS. I got a degree in mass communication. I went out to college, got my broadcasting degree, and I used to work for CBS 58. I used to work for NBC3 in Madison when I was in college and doing my intern. I used to work for 1290, the old radio station that was off of Sherman and Capitol, 1290.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I used to intern there. Like I did my intern with them. So I knew the narratives was important. So I wouldn't give reporters the story unless they would do the narratives that would benefit the people that I was trying to serve.
Yeah, but I think you ain't hear what I said. I said we got to give it up for. I mean, we got to say, have a little moment of silence for Tweezy, bro.
Oh, I thought you said.
No, I know.
Okay.
That's why.
Sorry about that.
No, we know. Like, you did this last interview, like that interview that you did. I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, man, you never know, bro. And you was on the scene too, and I think they interviewed you, didn't? I know.
When it came to Tweezy, it was Tory Lowe Day, and I went out. Tony Neal was on a live, and Tony Neal was supposed to be doing a thing at the Oasis, and I saw him on the live, and he said, "Hey, Tory, come to the Oasis." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop through there." Me and my attorney, B. Ivy Lamont, and so we just randomly went over there, and Tweezy was there. Tweezy was like, "Hey, Tory, man, you don't never let me on the show." I said, "Man, I've been telling you to come on the show. You just knock on the glass. You can come. See, with me, the community can come wherever I'm at."
Exactly.
But a lot of the radio cats, they didn't really have it like that. So when I got my turn, come in right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Tweezy was like, "No," and he wanted the formal call. Like, I said, "Tweezy, you could have came anytime." So I said, "Okay." He want the call. So I called him. I said, "Okay, I'm gonna call you Monday." I called him Monday. He was on the show Wednesday. But I said he could have just walked. People don't know that we ain't like the old cats. If you doing something, you got something cracking, you can come anywhere I'm at. Anybody.
Man, where the station at? So everybody
It's downtown at the 3rd Street Market Hall. 3rd Street Market Hall, the old Grand Avenue Mall.
Yeah, okay.
They redid it. Made it a food court, a food hall, one of the biggest food halls in the Midwest. So it's a great place down there. Everybody go down there. The Brewers, the Bucks, Steve the Stoner brought Luda down there. Everybody come to the 3rd Street Market Hall now. It's cracking.
So you said, okay, so
Giannis.
Then some yeah, I just seen you with Giannis.
They come, you see the room I'm in, right? They come, they just walk right in.
Oh, they come right in there.
They just walk right in.
Wow. So you made the call to Tweezy. Let's get back on that. And he came right through?
Yeah. I told him, see, a lot of times when we kind of traumatized from the OGs that they didn't really come through for us like, we thought they should, Yeah. But we made a promise that we was never going to be like that. We was going to leave these doors open for all these young cats. You know what I mean? We weren't going to get done. Like, we weren't going to get sent off on a mission. We was going to let people come straight in, but you got to have your stuff together because this is mainstream. This is mainstream. I deal with mainstream. I got one of the biggest radio shows in the state of Wisconsin right now. I won all of the Wisconsin Broadcasting Awards and everything. So I tell you, you can come in, but don't flop. Don't come in and don't have your stuff together. get your stuff together. But when it came to Tweezy, it's Tweezy.
It's
Front row Tweezy, come on. So it didn't matter because he could have did it. But when he did it, I don't know why the conversation went that way, because what it was we went over his life. We took like an hour to talk about everything he had planned for the future, things he did in the past, where he was at the moment. And I didn't plan on for the interview to go that way. We was just, he was promoting his couple events. He had a couple events at the Element. And so it just went into like this whole biography, which was now that I see what the ultimate result was, it was the frequency, because I didn't plan on that interview to go like that. I was just only we was just there to just talk about what he had coming up, things he was doing, just stuff like that. But then when I look back on it now and how we started from how he started to where he was at the current time and what he wanted to do for the future, it was just something that just kind of hit me a certain way, because I'll never see him again.
And that's what's crazy. He was loved by so many people, man. Like, I remember I had a few, he came to South Milwaukee too, man. That nigga, like when I was doing the club stuff, he'd always pop up to our events. That, man, Tweezy, that's one, like you said, like how you is on the community side, that's how he is. He was with the executive and the street.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He was the gap. I mean, he was the bridge. Like, this nigga was hanging with the Bucks owners and shit. And Mike, what's dude's name?
Peter Fagan.
A lot of them, like, he
the
was
president,
him, but then he could go on 20 to have the stone 27th and Burline, then on Fund du Lac. Like, that's crazy, bro, because we never had one of them.
What I liked about Tweezy was he was always a go-getter. Yeah. He was always trying to do something, and I like people like that, because if you hang around people that ain't trying to do nothing, you ain't going nowhere. You only gonna go as far as the top 5 people you circle in your circle. So you always got to surround yourself with people that's really trying to move forward and push the envelope. And he was one of those people. Plus, he was really good friends with one of my relatives, Callie Chris, who lost his life years ago. One of the biggest promoters in the city, Callie Chris.
Yeah, I remember Callie Chris, man.
And so that's how I met Tweezy. He was really good with Callie Chris. And when Callie Chris lost his life and we was working around that situation, I got to know him.
So you and Callie Chris related?
Yep.
Oh, I ain't never knew that.
Yep.
I never knew that, bro.
It was tough. Like my cousin Frederick married his mama.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That was crazy when that happened too, bro. It's just like you don't know what be going on behind the scenes, man.
But like I said, that night I went up to see Tweezy that Friday, but I was gonna get out late because I wanted to get there around 12.
That fly fucking with
you. yeah, it's a fly in here. But the thing is, I tried to get to the Element, and then Nick had hit me up and said something happened with Tweezy. And like I said, I mean, that from there, I was delusional a little bit, because I wanted him to survive it. I wanted him to make it past whatever took place. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, you was down there, and it's crazy how it happened, because like he was supposed to be my guest this week on the show. He supposed to be my guest. We already locked it in, and it was crazy that it happened like that, bro.
Man, and that's a big loss for the city. That's a huge loss for the city,
man.
And you can see it right now online how it's affecting not only the city of Milwaukee, but a lot of people across that he made connections with on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Is chiming in with this. This is going across the country.
I heard it was on the Breakfast Club, huh?
Right. Just hilarious. She said something about it.
And 8 Ball.
Yeah.
He was signing them.
Man.
With 8 Ball then when he started.
Yeah. I didn't know him as a rapper. I didn't know the rapper. I met him when he started getting the promotion. And from him starting to promote at the clubs all the way to Jumbotron Tweezy. I think that was my time.
Yeah.
Like he said, he was When the Bucks was winning the championship, they put him on the jumbotron. He got one of the most iconic fan scenes from the Milwaukee Bucks, where he jumping and screaming and yelling after Giannis and Drew Holiday. I guess he threw it live and caught the live and dunked it. And then you see Tweezy on the jumbotron.
Yeah, with the hat on.
Yep, going crazy. Next to see him and some white chick was standing up screaming. He, like I said, it's just one of those huge losses that we all gonna feel.
Yeah, God rest his soul, man. Prayers to his family, and I don't know, man. I can't speak on what happened. I ain't there, but it's sad. We just gotta keep the family in prayer, man. Let's get into something that you used to do, the walk to Chicago, man. What made you
got my feet hurt? My feet started hurting as soon as you said it.
My man, for y'all who don't know, this man used to walk from Milwaukee to Chicago. Like walk. Like tell the people how you got into doing that, man.
Oh, wow. People started calling me to help fight against the killings that was going on. Like mothers would call me and say their son got killed. Their mothers would call me and say their sons got killed and they needed me to help find the killer. So I was like, when it first started happening in like 2013, that's when it started happening. And people, so I went out and I started catching them, getting them arrested, finding out who did it. Then it was another thing, they didn't have no insurance. So they started calling me to bury a lot of people. I didn't raise over $1.7 million in burying people. And for, because they don't have insurance. I'm talking about over the years. I got all the receipts. But what I'm saying is either people was calling me to go after the killer, they needed money for the funeral, or both at the same time.
Not to cut you off, but was you kind of nervous doing that, bro?
Nope. You got to realize I had a couple battles with death myself. So once you get in a battle with death and you win, sometimes you feel undefeated. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel like you can overcome anything, because I had a situation where some people tried to tie me up and throw me in a hog grinder in Minnesota. So I had to go through a traumatic situation myself. So when I'm in traumatic situations, I'm at my best.
So hold on, they tried to we're gonna get back into the walk. They tried to tie you up and
yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan. I thought, when I was working at this packing house, and so I was the only first black manager and everything down in Minnesota. So when they tried to jump me and throw me in the hog grinder, I didn't know they was trying to throw me in the hog grinder until I got to court. I just know that they got, we got into a scuffle, and it didn't happen. And then we had to go to court, federal court, to make a long story short, because we would have to start this whole podcast over, you know what I mean? But but I'll tell you this, I was sitting in court and they said that they was trying to throw me in the hog grinder. I didn't know.
Wow.
That came from their side.
So they said they tried to put you, dang. White.
Yeah, I thought they was trying to jump me.
Yeah.
And
but what caused it though? Just you being black?
No, come on now. Like, I'm handsome, first of all. No matter where I'm at, I'm gonna be handsome. The hate gonna come. When you handsome, the hate gonna come. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you black and handsome and you in a place where it ain't no brothers around, a lot of people feel like they got you outnumbered, they got you boxed in. And so, like I said, that they kind of was making jokes, talking about they was gonna come to my house and tie me up and straighten me up. They was making little jokes. One dude said that he said, "How you get 5 niggas in the car?" He said, "Throw a basketball in the car." Then he said, "How do you get 5 niggas out the car?" And then he said, "Throw in a job application." So what? Like it was like weird jokes they were saying, because I was a manager at a certain at the parts. I was like kind of reordering parts. That's what I was doing. But they would come in and make these weird racist jokes, smile so I could see you type stuff. They was calling me boy and all of and I didn't care because I was making good money. I was driving a Mercedes. Just get this stuff done. And I really I don't really let words affect me like nothing. Unless you put your hands on me, we ain't got no problem. Like, we from the block where, I grew up people calling me niggas all, the N-word wasn't really offensive to me unless you try to put your hands on me and say it. So at the end of the day, I was just you know, I was recording it, you know, because they shouldn't have been saying it. But I that was the journalist in me because I had my degree by then. And so when they first started calling me niggas, I thought I was just gonna get everybody fired because I went to Walmart and got me a recorder and put it where you have all the pens.
Yeah.
So you were calling me a nigga, you weren't talking to me. You were talking to Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean? Because you shouldn't be saying it. But I didn't know it was going to escalate to them trying to throw me, eventually try to kill me. I just thought that, you know, I didn't think they was going to come that hard.
That's crazy. So, okay, damn, that's crazy. So you said, I mean, I know we cut that off to get that story.
I know. I told you, there's a lot of different vibrations going on here.
We was on the walk.
Yep.
And you said, oh, you raised the money for the walk. And you said,
and then you asked me if the dealing with the going to get the killers was something that I was.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what we said. So that's why it didn't bother you. Like you said, you didn't already face death.
Yeah, I don't care. You know, I almost got shot too. Thad and Diamond situation. They got killed in the city. I guess they was hustlers or whatever. And I think I was coming from one of the rallies, and somebody almost shot me through the truck. And that made the news. But like I said, I mean, I never was scared, you know, of nothing. You know what? That's the one thing about me that you'll never see me. I'm not afraid to do anything. You know, I'm just. It depends on what it is, and I gotta agree. But if I take the mission on that we got to resolve a situation, we going all out to try to do it, and that's by any means necessary. So I was never afraid to die or do nothing. Like,
and that's why you legendary, bro. Because it's like, I'm going to put my life on the line for this situation.
Right.
No, that's what you're really saying, bro. I'm putting my life on the line to make sure the people who did this face the consequences.
You know, we do missing people, human trafficking, death, everything. Like, we go through the block, whatever the person say, I'm going to listen to it. No matter what it is. And if I feel like we got an edge, I'm gonna try to take it in. So a lot of times it almost cost me my life, but I don't count those times. I count the times that we won. I don't count the times where I could have got clipped or something like that. I don't even think about that time. I only think about where we're able to get the resolve. And you know, at the end of the day, we got all the results.
And that's good. So that's why you started to walk.
Yep. I started to walk because I was up against this no snitching. And you know, people tend to take on gangster ways, but they ain't gangster.
Yeah.
So it was regular citizens talking about, oh, I ain't no snitch. A snitch is a person that come up with the situation, with the criminal situation, and go execute it, get caught, and tell on the folks that they organized with.
That's really what a snitch is.
That's what a real snitch is.
That's really what a snitch is.
You was with these people, you formulated a plot, and you got caught and you told.
That's really what a snitch is, bro.
That's what a snitch is.
Exactly.
You can't be no snitch if you didn't organize the crime.
And a lot of people don't understand that.
So I'm a citizen, I'm a resident, but even if I get out here and me and you go put a plot together to rob a bank and people tell on us, I'm not calling them no snitches. Now let's say you get caught and then I get away. Next thing you know, you tell on me. That's the snitch.
Exactly. And a lot of that's, you know what? And that's good you said that, because a lot of people don't explain it like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I see a woman get her purse snatched and I see the guy and they tell me who he was and I point him out, they gonna call me a rat, bro.
Yeah, but see, this is where they can get away with that if you claiming that life. Like a lot of people claiming that G code.
Yeah.
You know, so let's say you don't organize it, but you out here gang banging and you up here throwing up whatever, and you tell it. Now you're going against the codes that you put out here, right?
Yeah.
So you can get hooked in on that too, even though I don't see that as first tier snitching. I see it as second tier snitching because you didn't claim the lifestyle. But if you're a resident and you're a person that's trying to work a 9 to 5, take care of your family, it's your duty to rid the streets of elements that could be detrimental to your family.
And that's facts, bro. And that's kind of crazy. And most of the niggas who be snitching is the ones who say they get the call. Them the niggas who run. Like
that's why it's trash. That's why it's trash. All right, let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
There was a statistic that came out that the federal snitches was making like 300 million. The state snitches was making on the payroll was making 200 million, and the local snitches on the payroll was making 100 million. Like, wow. I'm talking about all together. Like, this was the budget. Like, this was like something that the government paid to the snitches on different levels. So when you got that going on, you got to get off the game, because the snitches is now the ones that they allowing to. I think they even allowing snitches to kill a few cats to make it look real now. So when the murders go unsolved in this hood, I believe that they allowing the snitches to get it passed, because they giving them information at this point. So when they on payroll, you got to get out the game, because the snitch is now running the game. Everybody can be a snitch.
And they right next to you in the club.
Let me tell you something. Look at the movies. The snitches has always been right next to you.
That's crazy.
They tell you in the movie.
I'm glad I'm reaching senior citizen status. And they can have that shit right now, bro.
It's a moment in this movie. You watch Blow, the movie Blow.
Yeah.
Do you see the last end when he was at the table, the last time he got caught, and he was like, "You too?" And he was looking at like the whole room full of like old gangsters that was.
I gotta rewatch it, bro.
And at the end, he looked around and he was like, he was trying to make a play that last time, his last go round, and he went back to his old buddies, and then they shot him up, and he was at the table, and then they looked at him. He was like, "You too? You too?"
Yeah, that's just
that's crazy. Like, so y'all watching these movies telling you too, like. And you ain't getting the message.
That shit crazy. I'm about to rewatch that since you said I'm putting it on.
Man, I said if I was even thinking about hustling, I would go sell some hats. I wouldn't do nothing like that. Cause it just got too many. Once they start making movies about stuff, they got the game on lock.
Yeah, and all them niggas be ratting, bro.
Right.
That's why I said I'm glad I'm out the way, bro, because the streets is not the streets no more, bro.
No, and we supposed to evolve. We supposed to evolve. Okay, yeah. Sometimes we did things out of desperation and not not understanding the social engineering behind things. But over time, it clicks in your head like, okay, well, the last 10 people before me went down. Let me not be the 11th. That's common sense.
That is crazy, bro. But so man, we just going off air, bro. It's all good, bro. I'm on live with my brother.
You got to edit this one.
Man, I ain't edited it. No, we keep it raw. This thing go right off the hot press.
Oh
right,
wow.
Right. I'm gonna chop it up and put how I do it.
Yeah,
bro.
I got you.
But that walk was huge, bro, and raising all that money. I commend you for doing that, bro. So you had blisters and shit on your
feet?
Man,
look, let me tell you something. We talking about this walk right now. My feet ready to cut the live feed off, because they say we ain't finna go on no walks. We not finna do none of that no more. We not finna do it. And so I did it because I noticed that when people walk for awareness, like for cancer, for like HIV and things like that, well, I felt like people was dying and violence was causing people to lose their life. So why not have a walk against violence?
But they ain't walking to Chicago.
Let me tell you something. It was a huge task to get people to transform their minds. So when I walked to Chicago, they saw that, okay, this dude care about this that much. Yeah. I was able to solve a lot of issues quickly after that.
So what was the strangest thing you seen walking, like just walking? Did you see deer and shit? Did you see animals?
No, it was rednecks that was like sometimes once you get out the city, it's all country road. And it was a specific way you had to walk to Chicago that had a lot of back country roads and bike trails. So sometimes you be in areas where it ain't no black people. You know what I mean? Once you start getting outside some of these cities, it's all white. So it was getting late one time, and these white people start circling. I'm walking on the country road with my backpack, and now they start circling, like saying N-word and all of that stuff. And I didn't even have my piece on me. I didn't bring no pistol or nothing. I'm just walking. So I didn't think it was gonna get that aggressive. You know what I mean? So I had to put up with at least 3 hours of these dudes circling, riding around in trucks. I didn't know what they was gonna do, but I was, I just kept moving straight while they kept driving past, burning rubber, burning tires, doing all kinds of stuff. Like they was trying to scare me, So it went on for 3 hours. I was in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, but thank God that nothing really truly ever happened.
Yeah, was God, I said was God. God was with you. But was somebody walking with you?
No, because everybody want to talk, but everybody don't want to walk. You feel me?
So you walked by yourself?
I walked by myself 7 times. 7 times. But people would join me. I did it 7 years in a row, 7 times. But after a while, people started joining me, like bringing me Gatorade, bringing me granola bars.
Along the way,
like they'll walk a stretch with me. They'll walk 2 miles with me. They'll walk as many miles as they can. But as far as like from beginning to end, it wasn't like that. They would just come in parts and walk parts with me.
Oh, that's kind of dope, though.
Right. And I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't want nobody. Look, let me tell you something. People eating the wrong foods nowadays, they not in shape to do that. And now I would feel bad if somebody would die and try to walk, and just because, they feel like it's a great cause, but then they walking from Milwaukee, Chicago, and they fell out and died, you know what I mean? Because they weren't hydrated enough, or, they probably had, some kind of not mental health, but health issue that they was dealing with, but they wanted to do it. So I never really wanted nobody to really attempt it, because if I would have died trying to do it, at least that was my choice.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought about that. I had some nurses that always would watch me and would come and visit me, and then I would have set places to where I would take a break on the trip too as well. So.
Dang, so that's crazy. I commend you for that, bro. But I'm talking about even the people who walk 2 miles, dog. That's still good, though.
That's powerful. We talk.
Yeah.
They brought snacks.
Like I ain't gonna walk to Chicago, but I'm gonna come do half a mile. That's kind of like. Go ahead.
That was the planning too, because they had to have a driver. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was waiting. So that took a lot of planning, even when they did that. So I appreciate what they did, because you just couldn't walk no 2 miles in the middle of nowhere without no ride back.
Yeah,
they took a lot of planning for them to do it.
Wow. Okay, let's get back into this, bro. I got my questions. How do you keep people motivated in the face of so much violence, poverty, and trauma? How do you try to keep the community strong, bro? Like, what's your goals with that?
But by getting the result.
With that?
By getting the result. I think the confusion lasts when you don't get nobody caught. You know what I mean? Let's say like something bad happened and nobody ain't in custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think people get a relief when you get those people off the street.
Oh, so that's when everybody like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah, like but they come. That's the best thing you could do is try to get whoever caused the problem, and then make sure that the family, like, they got to have a funeral. If they don't have insurance, then once they can get that calmness, the person caught, and the funeral over with, usually people can get get to a point where they can heal.
Do you still visit some of the families that you helped out along the way, or do they?
No.
Oh, you don't.
No.
Do they reach out?
If it's something new.
Oh, but the old stuff is just.
No. We keeping it moving. Like, I started having nightmares, like, because I was going to so many funerals. I stopped going to funerals because I started having dreams because I was dealing with so much death. I started having dreams. So what I do now is, only thing I'm trying to do is bring a result. Find a person, raise the money for the funeral, and keep it moving. I'm not trying to soak it all in. Soak the trauma. Soak in all that trauma.
That's facts too. And another reason that they might don't want to stay in touch is because it's trauma in their life, bro. They want to erase all of that.
Well, the thing is, I got so many people reaching out at one time because usually people get shot in bunches.
Yeah.
So
it's bad too.
Yeah. So now it's like only thing I got room enough is to try to get what need to be done because they not the only ones that's suffering like that. So if I could get the result of them catching whoever did it, and thank God for everybody who got insurance, salute, because then that takes away an element that I don't have to get involved in, and it gets me to the next family quicker. So it depends on what the family need, and it depends on what happening. But I'm just trying to, whatever I agree to, I'm not trying to do no more than
Man,
that.
it's a good thing you doing something. So, have you ever thought about like getting the office, bro?
I got one. It's called the Batcave.
I mean, a team, because you really be doing a lot of this by yourself.
No. See, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you look at the history of our people, anybody that was trying to help when they got a team, after 3 years after they got a team, they went down. Their demise happened because anytime you start opening up stuff to the public, that's infiltration. Look at the movie Black Panther with Fred Hampton. He opened his stuff up to the public, and guess who was the one that did him in?
The public?
No, the driver, his driver.
Oh, his driver. I ain't see that movie yet.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you look at history, they'll tell you what not to do. So, long as I'm moving in a certain way, I don't get that. You got to learn from the past, the positive and the negative. You got to take the baton from where they fail and run your race. But it's knowledge in where they fail on good and bad sides. So you take that knowledge and you add it to yourself. I don't do nothing open to the public. I don't do that. I just organize from people front rooms. And when I help victims, their loyalty is to me because I'm helping them with their family member. They ain't got time to snitch on me. You know, they ain't got time to tell how I'm organizing. I'm helping them. So the moment I go into the public space where they may not be facing tragedy, it opens up the opportunity for them to get information. So I keep that door closed.
Oh, that make a lot of sense. You right. They is loyal to you because you trying to help them with their family, bro.
And you know, at a funeral is what, 300 people, right?
Yeah.
All 300 of them is loyal to me while I'm helping them and their family.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody for to come snitching and try to figure out what the movement is because they getting that service. So long as I stay in that bubble, I can be in that bubble for the next 20 years and ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
That's facts, bro. That's smart too. Damn. I never looked at it like that, bro. So you just enlightened me. That's smart as hell, bro.
Why do I need to call 300 people when every victim got like 400 people?
Yeah.
So people are like, man, why you didn't call me? Why? This family got 400 people connected to this person, and we all organized. We can get the person who did it. We can raise the money within the family. It's just that when tragic happened, nobody's organizing the family to do the work. They just send back in their own grievance. But what I do is when they call me, I organize them how to fight. I teach them how to fight and how to handle the problem themselves. And we do it all from the front room, from the kitchen. We don't need no church. We don't need none of that. And I don't need to call nobody else. People are like, man, why you don't call me? Why? Because I got 300, 400 loyal people that's connected to this situation that's gonna move, and ain't gonna be no big chiefs at the table. Everybody arguing this what to do, what they ain't to do. No, I'm gonna be there with the family. They gonna do exactly what I'm trying to do, and they gonna get the result. Ain't gonna be no arguing. Ain't gonna be no wasted time.
That's some real shit, bro. For real. Like that shit just put a light bulb in my head. Like, damn. It make a lot of sense after you break it down like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy because you right, bro. Damn.
I ain't never got to worry about nobody crossing me.
Nope. Because you're doing them a service. And you ain't even charging.
I ain't even charging. So they listen. So let's say I open it up to the public. Folks, it ain't no tragic situation and nothing going on. Everybody just want to come to me. Now the FBI can come in, send somebody in there. And then you know, it is what it is after that.
Damn.
But you ain't getting in nobody's front room, trust me. They ain't gonna let you in if they don't know you.
Damn, that's smart, bro. So, like, you see all the what is it, the stolies and the car crashes. What do you think the city leadership is getting wrong about public safety, bro? About the public safety?
Hold on. First of all, the leadership many times is selected. So they pushing agendas that don't have nothing to do with our community. If we didn't go in our pockets to put this person in the place, then they were selected for us to vote for. And I tell people, if you want to know if this person is for you, did you and your neighbors and your buddies go in your pockets to push this person? Or did y'all just go vote for this person?
Oh.
Because if you ain't go in your pockets to, if me and you ain't putting no money on this person campaign, it ain't for us.
So you said the people who put the money in there, them the ones who
yeah, that's the one that get to push the agenda.
Oh. Is that something that you took from running for alderman?
No, that's just something that I know for a fact. Like let's say you get an artist and you the CEO. You bringing in an artist that you think that you can invest in to push your agenda or your company and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who we gonna be loyal to? You or some strangers outside, some fans?
Shit, me.
Okay, that's the same thing with politics.
Oh, damn. That's it, bro. You put hey, bro. Because, I never really got to all that, man, but I'm so proud of you for doing it, man. Even though we didn't get the results, you did it, bro. You tried, bro.
But like I said, you know what I did all of that for? I wanted people to know that no matter where y'all at, we gonna touch you. Like, the streets gonna touch you. Like, I ran for office to let them know I could be where y'all at, but y'all can't never be where I'm at.
They can't come to your playground, huh?
They can't come in the front rooms where I'm at. You laughing? But I can go where they at. I had to let them know.
That shit cold though, bro. So you ran and let them, the upper echelon, I could be where y'all at, but y'all can't come where I'm at.
Yeah.
That shit crazy, dog. Yo,
I don't have to win. I just have to be in the room to say I could come here.
It ain't funny, but as you was playing it, it's like, man, this nigga right here, bro. That's how I take it. Like, damn, this nigga right here. That's crazy, bro. And it take a lot to get in them rooms, bro.
Right. Well, now on the back end, I get to see everybody up and down the state. I could go into anybody's office and do anything because I stayed strong to what I believed in. I didn't have to compromise. I didn't have to take no money. I had to do nothing. I didn't have to change the way I was doing it. I just had to continue to get the results. And results is always better than living in a fantasy. So a lot of people, they got a lot of make it sound good, make it look good, but they ain't got no positive outcomes. I'm holding the bag on positive outcomes. So it's no room that I can't be in. And early signs of me showing them, hey, I could be where you at. Now it's a whole different ball game at this point.
Yeah, man, that's unique, bro. All right, let's get to your you be calling the Packers game. You see these ugly ass colors. I did that for you, bro.
Oh wow.
You see the green and gold, bro.
I'm the biggest Packer fan. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's
everything I got to do with advocacy, yeah. But I'm the big. I mean, I love the Packers. It was a blessing for me to do the Packers pregame show up in Lambeau with ESPN 94.5, Good Karma Brands. And it was a dream come true because my life at that point was so surrounded by dealing with tragedy that sometimes I just hope that I can do some of the things I love to do. And everything ain't always got to be tragic. So I wanted to have some fun, and I definitely have fun when I get to do those things with the sports, with ESPN. Even with 620 WTMJ, I get to do 620 WTMJ on Wednesdays, which is a mostly white station. And I get to do ESPN. I got Tory Lowe Tuesdays on every Tuesday in the city of Milwaukee at 4:00. I get to do Tory Lowe Tuesdays on ESPN 94.5. And I get to do the pregame shows. I get to do the NFL draft. I did the NFL draft this year. it was just, sometimes I'll be like, it's just amazing what God can do once you understand your purpose and stick with it. And even if it take a long time, it took me like 16 years to really truly implement an idea that we can help each other, and then you get to have some fun. So right now I'm in my fun season. I'm into organize. I had a hot dog eating contest at the 3rd Street Market Hall, a pie eating contest. Salute to Mr. Dives Pies, is Black owned. Dog City, Ken Hughes, Black owned. And we was able to do a food eating challenge. And we're going to try to grow that to being one of the biggest food eating challenges in the state of Wisconsin. But like I said, let's just have some fun, and then we still do the work and still deal with tragedy, but let's give people an opportunity to laugh and be themselves.
And that's a good thing for you because, like you said, having dreams about that, I mean, at least like you doing other things, because I remember you were strictly doing for the families, bro. Now, right. I'm proud of you, bro, because you doing everything now. And I be seeing you interviewing artists. I be seeing you like at your radio station. I'm like, now that's God's way of thanking you too, bro, because you never took anything from nobody, and you just getting into these places and you doing so much now that it's just like you said, you having fun with it now. Pie eating contest, hot dog eating contest. Like that it's crazy where you come and like you getting
going live from Summerfest, like doing my shows live from the lakefront.
Cause when you was doing your helping the families, you wasn't doing none of that. Like when I was there,
I shut it down.
Yeah, you weren't doing none of that, bro.
You know what? I didn't think that I would ever do my career here in the city of Milwaukee because so many people had their spots. You know, it's hard to get in broadcast. It's hard to get in that industry. So God was like, just do the work. And I got it on the back end. Not only do I got a show to do community, right next door is ESPN. And that's what I went to school for, to do sports. So I get to do my show with the community, and Homer Blow is filling in for my show. Salute to the legendary Homer Blow.
He was
the legendary Homer Blow.
Yeah,
it's just a blessing, because if you stick to your guns, it goes to show eventually it'll work out.
That's pretty dope, bro. So when the call came for you to start doing radio, I mean, where was you at that moment? How did it
we just came out for the walk from Milwaukee to Washington, D.C., which is one of the longest civil rights walks in the United States.
It was a lot of y'all doing that though, right?
Man, we walked, it started out with just like 25 people from Milwaukee, and it grew. And all over the country.
How many miles is that?
Over 750 miles. So and that ain't including going the wrong way. That ain't including going the wrong way. You feel me? Like missing the turn.
Y'all was walking, y'all was staying in hotels and stuff?
Yeah.
Damn.
But that's one of the longest recorded civil rights walks. That's longer than Martin Luther King.
Wow. And right after that, you get the call to start doing the broadcast.
Yeah. That October. That October, the end of October, I thought it was a joke. Matter of fact, I didn't take it serious until I got another call, and they was like, come to where we at and look at it. And I went in there and I saw that it was like legit. It was where TMJ4 was, over there off of East Capitol.
Oh, that's where y'all was at?
That's where we was at. And so when I saw we was going into TMJ4, okay. What's happening? You know what I mean?
TMJ4 been there forever, bro.
Man, and we see that building across from the Walmart over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Down the street from the Walmart. So I was like, okay, this is real. So I threw everything I had into it. And I think I'm at 11 Wisconsin Broadcast Association awards right now.
Wow.
And in less than 5 years.
Who do that awards?
That's the Wisconsin Broadcasting Association. This is up in Madison. This held every year in Madison. It's like the Super Bowl of broadcasting. You know where they say we number one station in this from that. You know, when Fox 6 News say we won number one, huh?
You got 5 of them?
I got 11. I was nominated 11 times. I got 5 first place. They 3, 4 second place or something like that. But
wow,
like I compete. We compete with the major stations.
That is crazy. So did the owner of the station call you?
No, it was Cherie and Kyle Wallace. Cherie Harris and Kyle Wallace, which is our GM was Cherie Harris, and our content director was Kyle Wallace. So when they gave me the call, I was like, it's a new station, it was a brand new station. And I was like, I never heard of it. So
crazy.
And it was associated with ESPN. And it was associated with 620 WTMJ, which is they do the Brewers. They the home of the Brewers when it come to radio, and they do big things in these stations. So to have a new black station, all black talk, it was like new. And
that's super dope, bro. I gotta give a clap, bro. We authentic. We ain't using
man.
No effects. No sound effect clap. We do that shit real.
I think.
Hey, bro, damn. So they be giving you all the free tickets and shit to everything?
Man, look, I mean, you got to pay attention to the email. Because I'll be running so much that I'll catch it. I'll catch it here and there, but it's always Brewers tickets, always things, always activities. It's always something to go to. It's always something to do.
That is super dope. And you deserve all that and more, bro. Like, you deserve all that and more, man. Okay, let's get into this, the day. How did the day come about? Getting your own day, which is so...
Oh, that's powerful.
It happened. That shit should have been happened so long ago, but how did it come about?
I was shocked.
Who called you?
It was a lady that called me. They was like, you got a day in the city and you got a day in the county.
So you got both of them.
Yeah, and then Governor Evers is working on a day for me in the state.
Woo!
So it was kind of weird to watch it happen, but like I said, I mean, I just kind of, looked at it like, okay, because I never do things for awards, I never, I don't even get paid, really it's just a need. Really, I was just trying to fill a need, and I wanted to be that person to not let my people down, to say, okay, I can't pick up the phone and I can't help nobody. No, I wanted to be that person that came through and said, okay, this is what we can do. Let's see if we can do it. I didn't change laws in the state of Wisconsin. One of my laws is going across the state right now. Not across the state, but the United States. They're trying to get it in every state.
Could you explain it, or I mean?
That's the green alerts. The green alerts, when a veteran go missing, that you get the green alert, like the Amber Alert.
Yeah.
That happened from me helping a family, Corey Adams' family. When he went missing, he was a veteran and nobody would look for him. So the family called me. And once we found his body, I went into mode like, okay, this should never happen to another veteran again. So that law, the green alerts, was based off a black veteran that couldn't get no help when he went missing. They found him later on, like I think 16 days later at Deneen Park in that pond. But he was a veteran, did a couple tours, couldn't even get no help. So I said, this will never happen again. Scott Walker signed it into the state of Wisconsin. The family pushed it. A lot of the old veterans came out and pushed it. And now they're trying to spread that one across the United States for veterans all across the country.
Wow. And you doing all this like by yourself, bro. This is amazing. Like, man, I can't even imagine like the stuff you go through, bro. That's crazy. And they finna put a law into effect for that.
Yeah, they try to pass it in every state. Green alerts.
That is insane.
Salute to the family of Corey Adams. Salute to them for even like just calling me to even help out with the situation. You know what I mean? But that's what we try to do. We try to get something out of it, when it comes to us. And sometimes when we give our energy to politics, we get nothing out of it. But if we leave it in our hands, we could get something out of it. But the problem is every time we get concerned about something, we move it into a political space, and all it turns in is to go out and vote.
That's it.
That's it.
And that voting really, they say, like me on voting, bro, it's just like I be voting, but it's just like I don't nothing ever change for me, bro.
Well, I don't know what has ever changed for Black people because of voting, but it's some people that their whole legacy is involved in the political system, and that's how they make their livelihood. So game recognize game.
Man, that is crazy.
So if they can get you to come out and vote, they get a check. Some people don't even know what the politics even doing. They just getting that check. Because if they asking you to sign some, ask them about the politician that they talking about, what they do.
Oh, when they be outside Walmart and shit and be like,
ask them, talk to them, ask them. It's all general. They don't know nothing about. They just getting a check, and that's what happened with poor people. If you can come up with something where they can make money, they'll just do the money part. They don't have to, and they'll sell you the funny part.
So that really mean like you selling your soul?
I don't know, but some people got to pay rent. You know what I mean? I see it like that. Some people got rent, bills, food. I don't think about it like that. I ain't gonna go too hard on them, but like I said,
That's, no, you're right. You're right though. But for the people who don't gotta pay rent and just want that extra bread, that's like
it's a hustle. It's a hustle. Kind of like when we talk about the churches. It is what it is.
Have churches reached out to you to just
churches always reaching out, but like I said, I never joined a group, organization, political party or nothing. I never endorsed nobody or nothing. Now, who I want to vote for, I voted for Donald J. Trump. You know what I mean? Who I voted for Donald J. Trump. But I didn't endorse Donald J. Trump. You know what I mean? I didn't tell nobody else to vote for Donald J. Trump.
Oh, you voted for him, but yeah, it's a difference. Like, you're going to vote for him, but you ain't going to tell people.
I voted for Donald J. Trump, and I'm happy about my vote. But what I'm saying is, I didn't tell nobody else to do it. I don't do that. Like, I don't want to take the shot. I didn't take the shot. My family didn't take the shot, but I didn't tell nobody else not to take the shot. I'm not into telling people what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
I'm into what I want to do, just like you into what you want to do. But I think that even in that space, we still got to be a resource and try to get positive outcomes and give back to our neighborhoods. That's
right, man. That's crazy. I mean, that's right. But a lot of people will be mad at you for saying you voted.
But they're going to need my help too. So what you going to do?
I mean, like, that's why I'm really getting to that politics stuff, bro. Because I told you, it don't matter who in office from Obama.
I voted for Obama.
Yeah. Nothing never changed for me, bro.
I voted for Obama and Donald J. Trump.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to pay my taxes. Don't nothing change for me, bro. And that's why it's getting me to like, it don't matter who in office because don't nothing change for me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we got to, like, I'm a result-based person. So I'm not looking, if I get a phone call, it don't go past me to somebody else. Unless I got to call an attorney to make, I got like over 67 lawsuits I organized on the state of Wisconsin. My lawsuits equal up to $40 million in lawsuits over the last 16 years.
Wow.
That went in the pockets of families. And I never took one penny.
And you ain't took that.
I don't want it. That's their money. It ain't not my money.
Wow. That's why I said, man, God got bigger doors that's going to even open because you did so much, man. Hey, I got a question for you, man. Because I know you in the community, and
here we go.
No, it's just like if you could be side by side with one of these gentlemen, who would it be, Martin or Malcolm? Which one would you? Who would you be on the side of, bro? I know they did stuff different ways.
I would definitely choose Martin.
Or you would choose Martin over Malcolm?
I would definitely choose Martin.
Okay, that's just one of my this or that type questions.
I would choose Martin because I came up as a deacon in church. Like when I was 15 years old, my life turned around and I was a Pentecostal. I got into Pentecostal church and I was a deacon. I served the church for a long time. So I would probably choose Martin.
Okay, because he really did stuff on that side. And
right.
Malcolm was he wanted street justice.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, when Malcolm died, he was becoming more like Martin. And when Martin died, he was becoming more like Malcolm.
Hey, don't nobody see that though, bro. Don't nobody see that, bro. Oh, bro, let's get on your legacy and your future, man. Like, what's next for you, man? And what your legacy? You still writing it, but it's already like cemented, bro. Like if this was Hollywood, you got a star already. You know,
Man,
from Milwaukee, you already got a star for that. But like, what like your future? What you got coming up, and like your legacy, man? How you want to be like remembered, bro?
well, the thing is, if people can say, okay, if Tory can help somebody, he can get paid, I can help somebody. And so if we could get people to help each other as a community, as a whole, to be a resource instead of hating on each other, that self-hatred. And now F that, I'm not doing nothing for them people. I'm for the fight. We for the, I'm walking around with a negative attitude. If people can just say, hey, look, it was a dude that came along that helped people, didn't take no money, but he was able to change folks' lives and do all of the things he did. And maybe I can do that. If we could plant that seed for the next 10 generations so we can have support within our community, that would be powerful to me. If people can continue to tell the story of the man that came in the neighborhood that almost lost his life in Minnesota to being thrown in the hog grinder and came home, helped folks for free, did all kinds of stuff, raised millions of dollars, put millions of dollars in people's pockets and never took one penny. Let me do something. If that's the case, if they can do that, we're going to be all right. The next 10 generations going to be all right.
That's pretty dope, man. Well, I'm going to end this by saying, man, I appreciate you, man. I love you. You my brother, man. And
man, pow.
Like, I'm proud of everything you doing, man. I'm glad that because like when we met, like it was just straight community, man. But I'm glad that you like enjoying some like the radio, the Bucks game, the Packers games. Like
I wish you was around now. See, you done left now. I mean, I'm starting to have fun, and I got to come out. To where you at to enjoy my bro.
You always welcome. But I'm glad that it's like you said. I never knew. You never told me like you had nightmares about all this. Like that could be kind of like scary, bro.
Right.
Like seeing these dead bodies and like actually, like I can't even imagine doing that. Like. And you doing it, you ain't getting paid for it, but I can't imagine like I'm finna help, you seeing these dead bodies, you searching for the person who killed this dead body, you putting them in jail. Like I can't imagine. That's just a lot of. So when you said you had dreams, I'm just like, I just put myself
man,
and I'm like,
I had a dream that the person grabbed me from the casket, and I didn't even know these people. Like. I was just seeing funerals so much. It was a consistent back to back.
Yeah,
Not only was the current killings was going on, people started going back with cold cases to coming to the front with their cold cases that wasn't resolved. So it started filling up my plate. And whatever you think about before you go to sleep at night, usually manifests in a dream.
Yeah, so like that's just like a lot, bro. And
yeah.
But I'm glad like doing other things too. You spreading, you ain't just stuck right here, but you still helping. Like yesterday, we supposed to did this yesterday, but you had to help somebody find their daughter, and you did that.
Right.
Like you still for the community, even though you on a larger scale, and that got to be a blessing to the community. Because most people, what they do, the community back there. If I'm working with the Bucks and the Brewers, and I'm winning these awards, bro, you could easily turn your back on that, on what's going on, because it ain't really your business. So it got to be, and that's why I'm proud of you, man, because you never turn your back on the community, bro. And there been times I done talk to you, man, like, because we check in on each other,
right.
And I talk to you, and you just seem so drained, bro. And I ain't the type that's gonna be like, man, leave that shit alone,
right?
Because that's your passion, bro.
Right.
You just sounded so drained and just like, man.
Well, it's late at night too. Like if sometimes when you out here looking for missing people, when do you usually catch folks? When do the feds usually kick in the door?
At
6
night.
in the morning?
6 in the morning or
late at night. Okay,
yeah.
So when I'm out in the community, I know all these tactics. Where you think I catch people?
Early in the morning and late at night.
Okay, so you ain't getting no sleep.
But doing police work though.
But they know that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
that's not a secret. A lot of this, what we saying, ain't no secret to the city, ain't no secret to none of the politicians, ain't no secret to nobody.
And yeah. Like a lot of people wouldn't be able to feel. I know I couldn't feel your shoes because I'd just be like, I ain't finna go look for nobody but for you. But I'm not,
You're
bro.
so great.
I mean, you putting your life on the line. You know, that's how you know you love what you do, and God put his hands on you. You know, I do other things. I give a homeless person money and you know.
I seen it.
I do my stuff in different ways, but for you to
that's why we became brothers, because you always had a good heart. You always had a heart for the people. So all my brothers got anybody I claim as a brother, they doing some work. They really trying to do what they can to really make some changes. So that's why it's an honor and privilege that, you know, when we was me, you, Money, Carlo, all of the people that was out there grinding early, I came because I knew I got to be around people that's willing to put in the work.
Exactly.
And I appreciate you for doing all of that, because like I said, I still got pictures of us out there on 27th in Wisconsin and all of that.
Getting
it in.
And you and Baby J last year, you know, y'all did the Thanksgiving thing with
the Thanksgiving giveaway on the radio.
Shouts out Baby J, you know.
Salute to Baby J.
We always still, you know, tied in, even though I'm not there, I'm there with you. But it's just like you do stuff that's go past like your shit off the meter, bro, with the stuff that you do compared to what it's still the same thing because it's all a blessing. But like, man, like God gonna touch you in a special way because like, dang, you helping out so many families. Like you just said, these millions of dollars, you don't ask for nothing. Like you doing everything free on your watch. You got to put gas in your car.
Right.
You got to pay your phone bill to get these calls. And you ain't took nothing, bro. Like that's
but see, on the backside of that, if God gave you a mission, God will pay you back.
Exactly.
Man can't pay you for what God's work.
And
like
that's
I feel like if it's God's work, God will pay you back.
And that's the reason why all this other stuff coming to you.
Right. And it is coming to me effortlessly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about without effort, without even thinking about it, without even having a strenuous conversation about it.
That's dope, bro. But man, I love you, bro. You know, we ain't got to go into if
Facts.
You need to call me. You already know that, man. But I appreciate you taking time from your vacation, man. The work's not done for you, I know, man. But to give me hour and 30 minutes of your time, man, I appreciate that and love you, bro. Anything you need, just hit me, bro.
As usual.
Yeah, love, bro. I'm gonna hit you, man.
God bless you.
Anything you want to say? Prayers to Milwaukee, man. Prayers to Milwaukee.
You know what? We got this. We gonna make it. Like it's our generation turn. It's our generation turn. Step into your turn. Step into your destiny. And I'm gonna see you outside.
Yeah, let's go. God bless Tweezy, man, and his family, man. Love you, brother. Thank you.
God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Come to a label and I want the executives dancing in the videos, all on records. Take that, come to Dundee, that record.
This face belongs on the tism.